Hi gorgeous! So bronzing and contouring, what's the difference and how do we do it? Let's find out. Okay, so I want you to take note and really look at my face and see just how one note and flat my face looks. I have on no contour, no bronzer, there's no depth, there's no dimension. The concealer and the foundation have taken away any shape, any shadow, it's just one note. So that's what we're gonna do when we contour and we bronze today. We're gonna add back our shadows and our shapes, and we're going to create maybe more shadow or more shape than what we had beforehand if that's what you desire. So this is very one note, very flat. This is added shape, added dimension, added shadow. Huge difference. So I'm going to do one side as a contour and then we'll do the other side as a bronzer, just so if you don't know you can see the difference and also know the key factors of what makes each technique different from one another. So first off, contouring. Typically when contouring you can use a cream product or you can go in with a powder product. We're going to go in with a cream product today just because it does tend to look more natural and it sinks into the skin, it melts into the skin, it looks less makeup-y, but you can absolutely choose a powder product if you like. This is from Charlotte Tilbury, and your contour shade is going to be a cooler shade than your bronzer. So like with concealing, the technique where you go 1 to 2 shades lighter, with contouring you can go 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin tone, but it needs to be a cool color with gray undertones typically, nothing red undertones. You don't want it to look like mud. Another thing to note, with contouring, that product should be a matte product, not glitter or shimmer. It should just be completely matte. But if you want glitter and shimmer in that contour, girl, you go for it. So the product that we're going to use today is from Dibs. This is obviously a cream bronzer stick. It is in the shade, let's see here, Spill the Tea. And I like it because it's cream, it melts into the skin, and it's very natural, soft looking. Great for that natural looking structure, natural shadows on the face that we're just bringing back to life. Okay, so let's go in. And by the way, if you choose to use a warmer undertoned contour stick, it's absolutely going to be like, it's going to work just as good. It's just not going to look as natural as a cooler undertoned contour stick. So let's go in. Typically people, the rule of thumb is to start at your tragus, which is, I believe that's what it's called, which is this little flap on your ear. Me personally, I start a little bit above, like right at the top of my ear right here. That's just personal preference. Rule of thumb is to start at your tragus and go and follow the hollows of your cheek. So I'm just going to go right in. I stop here, and when I blend, I pull things outward and it fades out, kind of like an ombre effect. It just gets really light out here, and that's what I want. Now, it definitely is important to follow the hollows of your cheekbones. And you can use a damp beauty blender or you can use a dense brush. I typically go in with a damp beauty blender just because this is what I've already been using with foundation and concealer, and that foundation and concealer can help blend and diffuse the look of a streak. So let's just go right on ahead. I use the butt of the beauty blender and I just push it into the skin. So not only am I pushing it into the skin, but the damp beauty blender is going to pick up any excess product if I applied too much. And I just feel like a beauty blender does a better job at giving us a natural looking contour. Don't forget to go back onto your ears so you don't have like this beautifully contoured, wonderful makeup look and then just a white ear. Now, do you see how natural and soft this contour looks? It doesn't look like makeup. Not really messed up, but also messed up is it doesn't look like they've put on makeup, so they add more and they add more, and now you just have brown stuff on your face instead of creating shadows. Shadows are soft, they are light, they're shadows. We don't need big bold on our face. And I also like to, just for a more natural look and not like a harsh line look, is I will take the beauty blender and as I'm going back up, I'll spread it out. So I'll go up kind of towards the temple and out towards that tragus so it gets spread out. Look at that. One note, shape. The difference. We love to see it. So now to continue on, I'm just going to contour what I would normally contour on this side of my face. Keep in mind we are creating shadows, and contouring can also be used to sharpen and slim that face. So if you have a wider nose, you can certainly sharpen your nose, which I'll do that on my nose, and you can see if you have a double chin that you want to dissolve a little bit, you can absolutely sharpen that jawline. I'll do that for you today. I always sharpen my jawline. And also if you have a forehead that you are not happy with, you can shorten that forehead, give the illusion of a short forehead. So we are creating shapes on our face. Let's do it. I do want to, before the music continues, I want to give you this piece of advice. When contouring that jawline, if you make this face, you pull this skin up, and then when you line your jawline with your contour, whether that be powder or cream, once you drop your face back down to normal, your contour will lay exactly where it needs to lay to have a natural looking jawline contour. Such a simple way to sharpen up and slim up that nose. And sometimes when I'm in the mood, I will do an added little bridge right here just to create that cute little button nose. And all you would do is take a small precision / concealer brush. This is from It Brushes, and it is the 212 Flawless Concealer Brush. And I'll pick up some of the same contour and press it in. I try not to do side to side like this because I don't want to streak or mess up that foundation and concealer that I've already applied. So I just try to pat it in and then go around and make sure everything is seamless. Go around the tip. And you've created a cute little button nose. I don't do that every time, just when I'm in the mood. So as you can see, we have added back shape and shadow and dimension to our face just by doing that. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take a lot of product. It just takes blending for it to look natural. So what I've done is added back, and then I also slimmed out the nose just a little bit and made a little button nose. You can really change your whole face if you trial and error with it and see what your face, needs, or what you prefer your face to look like. One of my favorite places to contour, and it's just going to give an illusion of a bigger, poutier lip, is right underneath your bottom lip. And all I'm going to do is take my beauty blender, just pick up a little bit, you just tap it in, push it into your skin. And now we have the illusion of a bigger, poutier lip. That's literally my favorite place to contour. I love that little hack. Now let's bronze it up. Okay, so I just want you to take note, and let's look one more time at the difference between this side and this side. This side obviously has a little more rounded look to it. Certainly one note, kind of boring. And this side has shape, it has dimension. I can't with the difference, it's so pretty. This side has shape and dimension and structure. Okay, so bronzers, unlike a contour, they're going to be more warm shaded colors. They're going to have orangey undertones. They also can come with a shine or sheen, even glitter in the product. That's the main difference between bronzers and contours. I just said bronzers. Bronzers have warmer undertones. They're definitely going to be more of like a boom, dark, deeper colored brown, and contours are softer, lighter, and then the bronzers have the glitter and the glow. With bronzers, we are imitating a sun-kissed, warm glow to the face. So we're going to typically hit the points of our face that the sun would naturally hit just on its own if we were walking outside. So for bronzing, you definitely want to use a powder brush. Big, fluffy brushes that don't have a lot of density to them. They're typically looser, like so. Another brush from It Brushes, and then this is the Pat McGrath powder brush. We're gonna go in with this one today. I like this one. It's just really big, and sometimes it like does my whole face, and we're not gonna do that today. We're just gonna do a soft bronze. My favorite drugstore bronzer, just if you want a quick, let me go get a bronzer so I can do this, the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. Obviously, this is like, I use it on the daily, but today I want to go in with this one from Gucci. It is also a bronzer, and it has some shine and some little itty bitty glitter particles in it, so that's why I want to use that today. And I'm going to do it on this side so you can see the difference between a contour, sharpening of the face, and a bronzer, adding warmth and glow and adding a sun-kissed look to your face. So I'm going to go in, swirl. Definitely, you can see it picked up, and you can definitely see the orange reddish undertones in this product. That's what we want. But you also want to tap off the excess because it's hard to fix bronzer if you mess that up. And what I'm going to do is with a very light hand, and how I hold the brush lightly is by holding it towards the back. I've got my 3 fingers on the middle kind of here, and then it's leaning against the top or the back of my finger here, but it's got plenty of room to just be a lightweight swoop of the face. So I'm going to hit in between that cheekbone and that hollow. You don't want to pull it down as much as you would a contour. You don't want to put it in the contour spot. You want to kind of go loosely around it. So with light strokes, I'm just kind of loosely applying, very softly, using the brush against my skin. A good rule of thumb, if you're new to this, is to grab your product, tap off the excess, and do a 3 on your face. That's a good way to remember where your bronzer goes. So you can see that bronzer has a wider, more broad approach on to the skin. It's not as concentrated as a contour. It didn't just bring back shape. This just brought back a bunch of warmth to our face. If you feel like you have gone a little too hard on your bronzer, it's too dark, you went a little low, whatever the case may be, take that beauty blender that you were using that has that foundation and concealer on it and just lightly press over it, and it will fade, cover or fade a very deep colored bronzer. Okay, so a bronzed up face by itself, there isn't that, I mean, there is depth and dimension added just naturally. If you put 2 colors that are different, again, you know, it's gonna add some shadow, but it's mostly a bronzed, sun-kissed warmth look. This side is more structured. We've got the cut jawline, we've sharpened the nose, we have contoured the bottom lip, that forehead, it's more shaped. Now what you can do is, once you've contoured, add a little bit of bronzer on top. So now you've got a face shape that you want, and then we're going to add that deeper, warmer color to our skin. Look at the difference between this face and the face before contouring and bronzing. It is insane what a little color and shape and dimension can do to your face. So just to give us a recap, the bronzer is going to have a warmer, more reddish, orangish undertone. It's used for warming up the skin and adding that sun-kissed glow, whereas your contour is going to have a cooler undertone. It's typically matte, and it's used to add shape and dimension and depth to the face. Contours, you can do powder or cream products. Once again, matte, no glitter, no shine. Bronzers, they have a warmer undertone, and they for sure have glitter and gleam and shine and sheen to add a sun-kissed glow to your face. So that is your crash course on bronzing and contouring. What's the difference? How do I do it? Yada yada yada. I hope you learned a little something, and thank you so much for watching. I will be seeing you in the next video. Bye.